right, so this is the California Scooter Company San Gabriel Cafe Racer 250. I've had it for about 6 months. I've traveled about 3,000 miles on it. And if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering if the bike is good. And yeah, it is good. All the rumors that you've heard on the internet are true. The bike starts up smooth and it runs smooth. I'll show you right here. Okay, the bike runs nice, all right? The reason I bought this bike is because it only weighs 270 pounds, which that combined with a class 3 hitch weighs below the tongue weight that's available on pretty much any car or van. You know, the Honda Fit, which is a camper car, it can handle about 350 pounds on the back of that car. The Toyota Prius, same thing. I've got a Toyota Sienna first generation van life camper car, and this bike can go on the class 3 hitch on the back of that van life van. So it's a really lightweight, minimalistic, ultra lightweight motorcycle. It's got the bare minimum of components that it could possibly run with. So it's got only one cylinder on its engine, one carburetor, and it's got its gas tank. And that's really the weakness of the bike, is that carburetor can get clogged up with glue or lacquer from the ethanol that's in the gasoline. So, you know, gasoline has got drinking alcohol in it, which is ethanol, and after about 3 weeks of sitting idle, that gasoline can turn into glue and it can get stuck in your carburetor. So if you're gonna choose a bike like this, you should go ahead and get some Redline 3000 or some FTP gas treatment and pour it in here. And that is basically a solvent that melts out the inside of that tiny carburetor, freeing up space so that the gasoline can travel easily into the engine. And that's really what you need in order to get the bike to be running smooth. Another trick is that where the gasoline turns into glue is if the top half of your gas tank is empty, it's got air in there and condensation takes place, and that water and air is what encourages your gasoline to turn into glue. So a trick is, if you're going to ride this bike on the weekend and whatnot, you would take it to the gas station and fill it up all the way to the top with gasoline so that condensation can't take place. So, you know, after I ride the bike, I'll stop by the gas station, I'll get the most expensive gas I can get, and I'll pour it in here all the way to the top so that there's no space for that glue to take place inside of the gas tank. All right. Some other issues with a bike is that it's kind of a shrimp of a bike, okay? When you park this bike next to Ducatis and Harleys and whatnot, it looks just like those other bikes, except for it's a lot smaller. So, you know, the seat is literally like a foot or 2 feet closer to the ground than other motorcycles. The bike is literally smaller than other bikes. And this bike can go on the freeway, but you got to think about whether or not it's intended to go on the freeway. The bike really is like an ATV. It's a toy. It's for cement. It's for during the day. It's for country roads. It's not really like a bike, a workhorse that you would use it for doing anything. However, the bike the bike can handle anything. If you want to take it to work, if you want to deliver Uber Eats with it or whatnot, of course you could. It's just that it really isn't intended for that. It is a toy. You know, it's a little bike. As far as the price, yeah, there's an urban legend you can get this bike for $2,000, but in actuality I paid like $3,700 for my bike, and that's because I got the scrambler handlebars, which are good, strong handlebars. I also got the 14-tooth sprocket, so the bike goes a lot faster. Going downhill during the day in good weather on the freeway, you know, the bike can get up to like 80 miles an hour. But in really windy, rainy, difficult, cold conditions going uphill on the freeway, the bike will slow down to like 50 miles an hour. Okay, and also if your carburetor gets clogged up with glue and whatnot, the bike will make a lot of scratchy, poppy noises, and it might even shoot smoke and sparks out the back of the exhaust pipe. It might even make some like gunfire, like popping noises and stuff like that, you know. So the bike will run really smooth, but you do want to put gas treatment in here, you know, to keep the bike running smooth. You know, some other basic issues were like when I got the bike, the headlight did not work. At 500 miles, I had my first mechanical treatment to the bike, and the mechanic fixed the front headlight, but even now, the headlight only shines from halfway down. So the headlight beam is like a smiley face. It's not a full circle. You know, the bike, it has its limitations. It doesn't really do well in cold, windy weather. It doesn't really do well, you know, at night. It's really for the daytime, like a toy to play with during the day. Another odd fun fact that I know about the bike is that the bike likes to just sit outside in the open air like this. This is where I park it. This is where the bike lives. I parked it inside my garage for a while, and it seemed like condensation took place in the garage because the garage is really damp and cold in there. And I also put a tarp on this motorcycle, and it seemed like the tarp got wet, and where the tarp was wet and was touching the bike, it caused corrosion to the chrome on the forks, etc. The bike really prefers to just sit out in the open air. It gets dusty, and then it gets rained on, and when it gets rained on, it gets washed off, and then when the sun comes out, it dries off, and it just likes to sit outside in the open air. One other issue that I could tell you about the bike is that on mine, the gasoline will run out when the gas gets down to 2 bars on the fuel gauge. Even if I open up the gas tank and look in it and sloosh the gasoline around, I'll still run out of gas. All right, now as far as gear for the bike, you know, I've got this backpack from Light AF. It's a tough bag that fits everything. Got my helmet in here. I got the Bobster glasses, which have this interchangeable lenses, and it's got the strap, okay? These glasses, I need to wear them kind of loose or else they kind of hurt. I got the half helmet with the skulls on it from China off of eBay. 50 bucks. All right. Okay. And I got these Tasco mountain bike gloves. They're good. I mean, if there's a cold snap, this jacket, the Patagonia Micro Puff, and these Tasco mountain bike gloves, they're not going to work if there's a cold snap. If the temperature drops down to about freezing, this stuff is, you know, it's going to be too cold, but most of the time this works out good.